Ladies, gentlemen, MBs, welcome back to NECC Week 3 League of Legends for Valpo Esports. I'm your host, Kembe. I'm here with my co-host.
Snacky Vengeance, always good to be here, join you in the booth.
Definitely, we're hopping into draft here in a little bit, right?
Right.
Uh, Going on a new patch, couple of jungle changes, definitely making it a little bit weaker here. It's going to be a little bit rough. As the resident jungler yourself, what do you think was the biggest hard hitter of that jungle nerf recently?
Uh, Definitely, it's a lot here and there. A big thing for me was kind of counter jungling. Those camps, they are tankier. It takes a while to kind of go into the enemy jungle, clear those camps out. But another big thing was just snowballing. I mean, there's so much early power taken out of jungle. The XP minion change also just really, how do I say, like Riot Games is trying to take my role away. But
Okay, all right, all right. We love the
it's not
drama.
all bad though, because
Yeah.
yeah,
No, of course. The biggest thing is that a lot of the times in our streams we talk about how early jungle impacts that game, especially we're talking level 3 ganks, level 3 run-throughs. That's going to take a little bit longer now, especially for the champs that do gank early. Uh, because of how hard their clears have been hit, we're definitely going to be looking for a slower impact into our jungle games here. But no, going against the Lambton Lions, definitely a higher up team here in our league. We have a diamond player, a couple emeralds, platinums, kind of sitting around that same elo for our team. So it's definitely going to be an evenly matched game here, and I think it's going to be a really interesting series,
yeah, I think
honestly.
it's going to be an interesting series. Valpo, looking into the draft, we do have blue side. I know Jacob is really looking for that Jinx because with that buff she got, her stacking passive. I mean, just one kill has always been what sets Jinx off in a team fight, but now it's even more so.
Yep. Definitely. Also, I think Lambton might pick up on that because if you check Dreadful's OP.GG history, I think it's like 20 straight games of Jinx. It's
No, I think
definitely
he that picture was just him filtering by Jinx,
okay. Yeah,
but it was
maybe,
all
maybe.
blue, so.
Hey, he did say he played like 8 jungle games and said jungle was great, so you do have to trust him a little bit, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, we're not sure, honestly. So
Mhm.
other than Jinx, right? Valpo, not really much of a change up like draft wise, I think. Biggest thing is
Sure.
that we're looking at game two, game three, a contesting for your Zach,
For my
right?
Zach,
From this
that's right.
jungle. Yep. So we have a lot of similarities from these teams, at least when it
For
comes to
sure.
like comps and actual like draft style. So it'll be
Hmm.
interesting. I feel like we're looking at a mirror match here. So
Almost, yeah. And I think it really just depends on how well we pick these teams and what we could do to execute with them.
yep. No, definitely. The execution on our side is gonna be it has to be top
It
notch.
has to be on point,
When
yeah.
you're facing a team that's similar in elo, similar in draft picks, kind of like who they're comfortable playing with, biggest thing is that you can't give too much in your draft,
Right.
right? Because the execution of that draft is so important because now you know what you're looking for and they know what you're looking for. So it comes down to a point to where, okay, what are we okay with giving and what are we okay with actually, securing, taking,
Right.
especially having that blue side. It's kind of like it reveals a little bit to you as a team. What do you
Hmm.
really prioritize? What do you really
Right.
not like?
And another thing in the jungle they changed was early objectives are so much less impactful. I think it was some number like individual dragons are 40% weaker, and then soul is, as a result, is like stronger for compensation.
Yep.
So we usually try to like get these early objectives, set up for Dragon at 5 minutes if we can, and then rotate up for 8 minute Herald. Now that they're weaker, I kind of want to see how like stuff is going to shift. I think
Hmm.
it's still worth it to get the objectives if we can.
Yep. I think especially with the nerf the tower plating gold as well,
Right.
that's a big hit. Not only
Herald
we
gold
talk
too.
about exactly,
Yeah.
we just talked about dragon, but we also have a Rift Herald knock.
Right.
So having that Rift Herald knock is just so hard to actually, play around that. That 8 minute rotation that a lot of teams run off of just isn't really as viable anymore.
Right.
It's great to take the prio early and give your, bot laner solo XP, but it
Hmm.
comes to a point to where how much are we willing to sacrifice for this first Rift Herald?
That's right. And if Jacob is going to be playing something like Jinx, She's very squishy in lane. I think they buffed her HP a little bit too, did
Yep,
they?
they
Okay.
did buff their health
So
growth.
that might help out a little bit, but she's squishy, she's immobile, she's prone to dives. So we got to see. I mean, of course, it depends on the situation of the game. If it really is worth it to rotate up to that Herald and try to take it. But still, the idea is similar. As many Drakes as you can stack early, it's just what's going to keep snowballing you. I mean, even though they're weaker, it's still definitely going to be like really important to take.
No, definitely. It's still extremely important to get that early lead on objectives, but I mean, nowadays it's gonna become way less of a give for that first dragon. And I think it's a little bit interesting because obviously we have a dynamic of the jungle being a lot weaker, having a lot less impact, at least early game that we talk about, and being really hard to kind of work around. But now that prioritizes a lot more of scaling comps, right?
That's
It
right.
prioritizes kind of that mid lane cast, that mid lane
We
Aurelion
have,
Soul.
yeah, great picks like Asol, even Ornn.
Hmm.
Once we get those upgrades on someone like Jinx, I mean, our
Yep.
team fights are going to be great. So,
And I mean, we talk about Jinx. Jinx definitely like, not to over exaggerate here, Jinx
right,
is the best ADC in the game after
right.
this patch. Like, let's
Currently,
be
yes.
real. And
Jinx,
mhm,
maybe an argument for Caitlyn.
maybe an argument for Caitlyn, yeah, but
Hmm.
by far Jinx, right?
Hmm.
Because we talk about it now, it's becoming more of a scaling game. We're prioritizing more scaling. There's a lot less early game. When does Jinx get strong?
Team fights.
Exactly.
And that's
And
what
team
Riot's
fights
kind of
happen.
trying to pivot towards.
Exactly.
You know?
Team fights happen. I mean, we're talking like 20 minutes plus, right?
Right.
By that time, Jinx has one item, two item. And that's really where her spike is. It used to be around three item before the nerfs like in the best, but now with the team fighting buff that she got on her passive, it's gonna be that one item, two item spike, and that one item, two item spike is kind of where Riot has placed all the buffs in this game. Because now you get the Dragon Soul, or well, it'll be like third dragon around 20 minutes, but you'll be stacking dragon at that point. You're going to be getting a lot more gold in lane. Your minions are going to be coming faster. And that kind of has created this perfect storm for Jinx to just take the bot lane by hold. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we're going to be seeing that here. Jinx,
Right.
quite frankly, is a pick ban. I,
Yep. And I'd love to see David on something that could provide her some safety
yep,
and some really good engage setup, like that Thresh that David's so
yep.
signature on.
Oh, definitely. I think the Thresh is an amazing pick, especially with that Jinx. We talk about being like kind of late in, or excuse me, talk about being squishy in lane.
Right.
That lantern that she gets, huge. The
It
flay is
helps with
easy.
her immobility, it helps with her
Mhm.
squishiness, and then
Definitely,
Thresh has great setup for kills. And then once Jinx gets one in lane, I mean the bot lane 2v2 is over. So
definitely. No, I mean you have a lot of impact in lane. I mean we're also talking about you need Jinx to get a little bit solo gold, especially we're talking like we're talking like mid to late. You need to start
right.
leaving lane as a support. Um, I think Bard is a
Bard is also,
crazy
yeah.
sleeper pick with Jinx. I genuinely think so. You have a ton of disengage. You have your ult. You have a ton of like sustain in lane, which Jinx lacks. So I think it is a great pick. But I mean, looks like we are just
Looks like we have a different spec link.
yep. And we're just getting word right now. We're having a couple of issues, so we will be right back in one moment. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, hopping into the in-client draft here for our NECC Week 3 Valpo Esports. First ban going out, Lilia. Second ban, Jarvan.
Banning
Honestly,
that Zac away.
yeah, pretty understandable bans.
Yeah,
The jungler does have a ton of prio when it comes to the like past flex games and things. So banning out that Zac most played, and then banning out the Lilia, who the
especially in this scaling kind of full clear meta we have now.
yep.
Zach and Lily, they're going to have a lot of agency, especially in those team fights like we've talked about.
I mean, my best friend Ice, uh, Lilia main been talking all week about that Roa scaling that Lilia has and how strong it is in jungle right now, and I definitely agree with him. So pretty safe ban on Valpo's side, and then on Lambton's side, going with the J4, the Rakan ban, which is interesting, and
Interesting,
then
yeah.
the ASOL. ASOL understandable, J4 understandable, Rakan interesting though.
I mean, I
Obviously,
think it's just really geared towards those team fights like we've talked about. That
yep,
scaling, I mean, look, Onaya, she's gone ahead, picked up Orin like we've talked about.
yep. So for folks at home, just in case you do not know here, these drafts aren't premeditated. They did go through a browser draft before this, so they aren't just drafting in LCS order, which would be a little bit weird. But we are seeing people at their positions here. Uh, Obviously going with the Ornn, Maokai, Talia as your top side, pretty scale heavy comp, as you'll see that's gonna be true for the rest of Valpo. And then on the side of Lambton, going with the Kennen, Vi, and then this third pick here should be wait for them to pick their champ.
I
I
do
mean
really like Justin's pick of Talia here.
hmm
It helps shut down that Vi, helps shut down that
it's talent. There we go.
Talon right there.
Yep,
And even Kennen, he's going to be looking in those team fights for a Proto Belt R.
yep.
So just having the threat of Talia there, it helps a little bit.
Oh, definitely. You have such a strong like mid to late game on Valpo's side, but as you'll see here as they draft this bot side, um,
Right,
Valpo is very lacking early game.
for sure.
There's really no early game fighting that Valpo
Right.
can do, and on the side of Lambton, you see they're very strong early. You're
Yes.
gonna run here. You have a Vi, you have a Talon, and then well Kaisa I kind of consider as a scaler, although she is pretty good around that like early to mid game. You're gonna see in the support pick after Valpo drafts the Jinx and Thresh that we were
Like
talking
we've
about.
talked about, right?
Exactly, drafting the Jinx Thresh combo that we were talking about. After picking this up, why are we waiting on the timers? There we go. We know the draft. But then we
Gonna
have
see
the
the
Swain.
Swain. Yep.
Yep. So what we were talking about, I mean, as they were premeditating this draft, um, you have the Vi Talon, which is insanely strong, right?
That's right.
And then you combo that with a rotation from Swain, leaving Kai'Sa, who's very strong in a solo lane, you have a recipe for a lot of early game objectives. So it's going to be up to Valpo. I mean, I know Snacky and I talked about this. It's 15-minute mark to 20-minute mark. That's really when you need to see Valpo get going.
Right. Because we're not gonna have much damage before then at all. I
hmm
mean, looking at Maokai, Talia, we're not going to have too much damage until Jinx really starts to come online.
hmm
And even later into the game, we're really just going to have to. This team's really built around her. She's going to be the one who's dealing pretty much all the damage in the team fight.
Yep, definitely. I mean, you have a ton of peel for her as well.
We do.
Obviously, early, you can always surprise me, right? A
Right.
solo kill will definitely not hurt. But Valpo, I have a feeling has to play this really safe because you go into that 15-20 mark, right? Like you just said, Snacky, you have a ton of peel for this Jinx. Their Jinx is their win con, and you have the Thresh, you have Talia, you have Maokai ult, and you have Ornn ult. You have Ornn ult to start fights, you have Maokai to start fights, you have Talia and Thresh to disengage. You have a ton of peel for this Jinx to play around. So as long as Valpo doesn't really give this game before 15 minutes, it's going to become only harder and harder for Lambton to ramp up. On the flip side, Lambton has a great setup here for an early game fight. You have great level 6 spikes. Talon
Yep.
is really good in lane, especially against early Talia, when
For
Talia's
sure.
cooldowns are a little bit higher, can't punish as hard. Around like that like level 8 to 9 scale though, that's when Talia kind of takes that lane over.
Right.
But And then you have that bot side as well. Extremely hard fighters. You have a lot of early game damage. Swain, who once he hits level 6 is practically unkillable by Jinx
Right.
until like 2 items.
No, they're
You have,
definitely gonna have to focus Kaisa in bot lane 2v2s
yep,
at level 6 and use that Jinx passive to kill Swain.
definitely. No, and I mean, speaking of that, we know how slippery Kai'Sa can be, right?
Oh yeah,
So it becomes pretty tough, but Valpo is in for an interesting game. This is definitely
sure.
going to be a fun game. I don't think we've seen Talon or Kennen picked
No,
for uh, any reason so far in NECC, but I like these picks. I
I do.
I
Yeah.
obviously like the Talia is the Talon counter, right?
Right.
So they had to flip something, which was the top side. So Ornn getting countered by Kennen. Um, but otherwise, I think it's an insanely interesting combo, and I think we're going to be looking for, if Valpo plays it safe, a boring early 15 minutes, but past that time,
Unnecessary, boring.
yes, yeah, a very necessary boring. But
Right.
after that, I think we're going to be rolling.
Yep.
So I'm
And
excited.
Talia, she does have roam pressure. I don't
Yep.
know if we exactly want to counter the Talon roam or just back off,
Hmm.
but still, I mean, once she gets that agency and lane over Talon, she kind of takes over. Then the map control Talia has, I definitely think, is really good here.
Yep, definitely. I think the biggest thing for Talia, why it's such an interesting counter into Talon, is biggest thing is that you counter the dash,
Hmm.
right, with the Q or the dash with the E, both one stun.
Right.
But when we talk about Talon roams and Talon like ganks, biggest thing is that if he's going to get a kill, he has to blow everything, right? You have to
Hmm.
blow your E to engage, your Q, your W, and your ult most of the time to secure a kill. That leaves
That's right.
Talon with nothing. So if Talia is able to actually ult and rotate back over, you can at least finish out a trade with a 1-for-1, right? Biggest thing is just be conscious of where Talon is flipping walls. Talon flips a wall somewhere else, you're going to leave him way too open. He's going to just jump back over, and that's going to be a free trade for him.
Right.
So, I mean, as we hop into League Client here, um, there we go. Gonna take a look
Hey,
at the
any
runes.
Skinnergies?
Yep.
Oh,
I don't
not too
think any
many.
team.
Oh, they have
Bottom
Blood
team.
Moon, yeah.
Yep, they have Redskins, except for
Yeah.
Lagoon Dragon, unless it's a Chroma.
Unless it's a Chroma, but
Might be a
I
Chroma.
don't think she got the memo.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hey, Lambton's on. Taking a look. Obviously, everyone's been playing the chase for a while, but Anaya. But I mean, Anaya is not
She's
new
been
to Ornn.
performing on that Ornn. Yeah.
Exactly. So mastery isn't the story for a top lane here. I mean, now we're gonna hop into this game. Gonna take a look. It is a Chroma. It is a
Oh,
Chroma.
they got the all red team.
Good job, Kaisa. We love it. We love it. And no. Oh wait, we have an all blue team except for
Oh,
Maokai.
because we're blue side.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is like my heart is singing right now. This is a great time.
Wait, and it's so fitting because they're on red side, we're on blue side.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This fits perfectly. This makes my brain very happy.
So it looks like Valpo's going for classic 5 point, and we
Yep.
might be seeing an invade here from Lambton.
Ooh. I think it's a pretty strong invade here. I mean, you have Vi, you have the
Yeah, the
Swain.
Swain.
He's walking up here, and they are spotted now. A couple of pings going out. Talon was a little bit late to the
Still,
memo, but not going to be able to get anything. But didn't even get a ward off
didn't
either.
yeah.
Just walking back. They look for something. I mean, probably just got to be careful when the thrush spots you. You don't know how many are close by. Don't want to risk it. Just run it back.
Something we did talk about was starting top and pathing towards bot side, and I want to see if we are going to do it that this game in something where maybe we want to be a little more chill, especially in the bot lane.
Oh, definitely. And we're seeing, I
And it
mean, let's
looks like he
start
is
top
starting
side
top.
there. Yep. No, it looks like jungles will be taking opposite pathings here.
Yeah,
Uh, unless the Vi decides to try and three camp
three
this,
camp. Yeah,
which honestly is not out of the question. And just like we talked about, it's definitely going to be a little bit slower.
yeah, for sure. I'm also curious to see what path Nolan takes, just because this new jungle meta it kind of favors full clearing a little bit,
Yep.
but the three camp is still definitely strong.
No, definitely.
It looks like
I
he was
mean,
gonna move on to that crown.
pretty Pretty slow early game. Usually we'd be talking and, give it like 30 seconds from now, jungle would be in lane. Quick double root by Swain there. Just stacking up that passive.
Yep.
But like I was saying,
Looks like
usually
Valpo
jungle
gets
will
level
already
2
be in lane.
first.
Yep, there's level 2, missed the hook. Swain's able to get a good trade back there.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, we're looking at this top lane here. Again, very like Kennen favored. We've been seeing it a lot as well in like a lot of pro play. Kennen being kind of that crutch pick that you take into these hardcore tanks
Right.
like Ornn, like Sion, just making it really, really hard to play.
Yep. I mean, with all these tanks being so blindable,
Yep.
having the natural counter of Kennen is just.
Talon looking right there. I mean, getting flipped off, trying to get a trade back, but I mean, that's already a half health trade for
Right.
Jakimbo in that mid lane. And here's
Naya
another
picking a
trade
little
for
something
Manaya.
up too.
Kennen's going to look to try and get something back here. Minions blocking
Oh,
off
and
that
it looks
Q
like
there.
Nolan's wrapping around for this Talon.
Yep. Nolan's going to look for something. Talon's going to be able
That's
to
a
hop
good
over
look
the
on the
wall,
flash
but
W.
a flash on the
And
W
the
as
Q
well.
knockback, that's going to force Flash out of
It's the
Talon.
flash out of Talon, trying to get the
They
slow with the...
still.
Yep.
Ooh.
Gets the slow with the W, is going to be able to hop over that wall there and be pretty safe. Talia's still chasing
Ooh.
though. Jakimbo looking for that kill.
He's got to be careful because Vi's on a red up there. It does look like she opted for the full clear.
Yep. And that's going to put Kurt Wonder in a really bad spot here early in this game. You're going to get a wave shunned under your tower, get a free reset at least.
And you're left without a flash.
Yep. And that's another hook from this swing. This swing just has not missed this lane. He's been hitting everything, but we're looking still here. I mean, no harm, no foul. You have Maokai walking down to this bot side. Oh, okay, right, as I said. Honestly, good for us. I'm glad I jinxed it. No, no hate, LC. No hate, LC. Obviously, I'm a Valpo commentator. I want you to miss. No, I mean, we are going to see First Dragon coming up here. I realize what it is. The map is too big. The objective timers are underneath the map.
Oh,
This is great.
Can we move the objective time?
Yeah, we will get that situated in a little bit here, but for now, we do know...
Oh, looks like
we have a
monitor
monitor
problem on Lambton.
So it looks like, I mean, we're going to try and get this going here. If we can hit... take a look. It might be in... Yeah,
Interface,
there
yeah.
we go. Mini map scale.
Map scale.
Yeah, see, they're coming.
We have our
They're
objective
here.
timers back.
Beautiful. There we go. That's
I
good
think
enough.
30 is the default.
Why is it cover though? It seems really counterintuitive.
Can we be able to move the objective timers?
I'm not sure. But hey, we're using this pause to a great advantage. But now we can see drag will be up in 37 seconds as once we switch back to our cast, you guys will see as well. But man,
That's tragic.
yeah. I've been sitting here wondering for weeks why the objective timers just didn't appear. I mean, there's
Losing
nothing
your
we can
mind.
do either. But
Okay.
yeah, let's not switch back to chat. Let's not look at what they
No,
chatting to
let's
each other.
not.
I mean, how's your day been, Snacky?
Oh, pretty good, First day back in classes after fall break.
Yep.
A little busy, but
No,
nothing
definitely.
too bad, yeah.
I feel that. No, I'm happy to be back on the cast. Right, we got a pretty eventful week. I mean, we're gonna be coming back Saturday as well. We have another cast running our GLEC game, if I'm right on that. Yep, it is GLEC. So we will be at least running back again later on this week. So happy to have a little bit of an early cast. Usually we're looking for Wednesday, Saturdays,
Right,
but
Wednesday, Saturdays.
with our reschedules, with fall break and everything going on, happy to get this stream out to you guys today. So it's a good way to start off the week.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. And I mean,
Start off the week with some League of Legends.
okay. Well, when you put it like that, it's not as fun. We are back and we are resuming the game right now. It says play will resume in 0.
0. Look at it.
It's awesome.
It is. It's a small indie game company.
Counting the negative numbers here.
Yeah.
Just gonna wait
So
it out a little bit. Yeah, make sure to analyze the scoreboard.
Looking back at the game state, CS is looking pretty good. Jacob doing a nice job with that wave manipulation and just keeping even if not a CS lead in this lane.
Yep. Especially in such a like strong early game, right? You're looking to just farm.
Right,
You're
and
not
even
looking for too many
Anaya into a
skirmishes.
counter matchup.
Yep.
She's keeping up and farm pretty decently.
You have to be careful as well. I mean, uh, Talon did just roam and just walk into blue side jungle, uh, going for that dragon. A little bit of a stutter here, but we will kick back in like 2 seconds. There we
There
go.
we go. It was just the
Um,
Kennen stun was really long.
yeah, true. Honestly, Kennen stun hit us here in the booth as well. Now we have a couple of pings going out. It is a 3v3 bot side, but Talia is gonna rotate first. We have Maokai sitting in Tribush.
It looks like Vi is just going to queue over the wall. She doesn't want to look on that move.
Yep, just dashes straight back away. It looks like they will just stagnate a little bit here. Looking for one of their lanes to get a lead. You have a
Right, because
huge
that's what
wave
they
stacked
need
in this
here.
spot.
Because when you look at their team comp, Vi, Talon, they're definitely looking for early things, early objectives, early leads. Because once we get to team fights, we have Ornn, Maokai, and Thresh who's going to be stacking armor, Vi and Talon. You know, really they're not going to have any other function than jumping on Jinx
Yep.
and shutting her down.
This definitely is a Jinx have no fun game.
For sure.
You have a lot of people who can kind of just zone her and shut her down. So it's going to be up to Valpo to try and just peel as strong as they can.
Ops just don't want to see Jacob succeed.
That's true, honestly. The ops don't want to see it. I like the dash in here. Nothing much, but a couple of pings going down on this bot side here. Vi is walking down this jungle.
Down. We have a
The
fight
hook
happening.
goes through.
Kai'Sa with
There's
the
the
cleanse.
ignite as well. Here comes Vi. Gets the flash. Misses the flay. Tries to predict it. Not
Flash
going
is
to be able to
coming
hit
out
it.
of everybody.
The exhaust going off on Kai'Sa, but that will be first blood going to Swain on
blood.
Thresh. Jinx does get out of it. Still with the CS lead here, so still putting the gold lead in the side of Valpo, at least ADC wise, but first kill going to LC.
That's all sums out of the bot lane.
Yep.
And then a flash out of Vi.
That was a complete like burst.
And it looks like Lambton might be moving this into a dragon play too.
It looks like you saw there, I mean, Shadow did go for the quick flash trying to block that Vi with the flay, but Vi just held it a little bit longer than he expected, and that will be first dragon to Lambton. Man.
I mean, it's not something that we can't recover from.
Yeah, exactly. That is first fight.
That's kind of how we expected this game to play out.
Exactly. It's a very hard fight, at least early. But I mean, when we slowly get back into this game, I feel like it'll be a little bit easier to at least try to like stay up in these fights.
Definitely.
I mean, walking around, having the time of our lives here in our scaling compositions.
Yeah.
Honestly,
looking at items, it looks like Kai'Sa actually had to sell her D-Blade to finish that Noon Quiver.
And usually, I would agree with that, but in a lane like this where you're trying to fight a lot, losing that little bit of sustain that you have early is a little bit rough, but I understand the grind set. You gotta lose money to make money.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, this is the life of a Valpo caster. We draft insanely heavy scaling comps, and we sit here
around and talk about items.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've analyzed the like lost chapter items 20 times over.
Oh man.
Is great.
Just to know what they all build into, because I don't even know that. I mean, can't tell you.
We have Talon going the Zoro build right now. Got the 3 swords going on. And there's a flip as well. Getting off a couple of trades here, and we're seeing
clean trade from Justin.
We're getting to that spot where Talia's really going to start to take control here.
Right.
I mean, this is an insanely hard lane.
David's sitting on a ward.
Yeah, sitting on the ward, not understanding that, but won't matter. Still has to pop back out into that
Looks
wave.
like we are looking for a Herald play here. Vi is topside, but it seems she's on a red buff. Kennen's taking it back. This should be a free Herald for us.
Yep. Valpo with the good rotation there. Although, like, obviously you're not looking for a fight, being able to recognize, hey, still have both bot side, still see mid, right, get pushed in, you're able to go up, pressure that Rift Herald a little bit. And here comes Talon as well, roaming down the spot side. Thresh has to be careful here.
TP used out of Kennen top lane. It looks like Anaya might be... Okay, she's backing up to build. Steel caps, I'm gonna say. Nope, no magic mantle.
Yep. I mean, you gotta get a little bit of magic under your belt, especially in
For
a team
sure,
like this.
into Kennen.
Yep, and there's a great hook as well. Here comes the ult from Swain,
Swain,
trying
here
to
comes the
toss the
bot lane
lantern out.
2v2.
And there's the lantern trying to just slip Jinx out of that situation there.
Now that his
There's a shot as
ult
well.
has
Another
collapsed.
flay back out. You have to be careful. There's the ult.
A
Dreadful
great
picks up
rocket
one.
from Jacob. He picks
Yep.
up the kill. It
And
looks
here
like
he
he's going to
comes
be
the
looking
box
for the
as well.
passive.
And that's a double kill.
Parlaying
going
into a
to
double
Jinx.
kill. Beautifully played by both.
Yep, really great spacing from Shadow Spark. Combination, throwing the
absolutely.
lantern out, being able to look to turn, especially after
Being able
that
to
Swain
kite
art
out
went
that
out.
Swain ult. So good.
It was huge, and that's a huge boost for this bot lane. Around a 30 CS lead and 2 kills up. This
I mean,
Jinx is
especially when we're talking
definitely
about
that win
Jinx
con.
being our win con.
Oh, and this might
And
be a solo
maybe
kill
even
for
a
Jakimbo.
solo
There
kill
it is.
coming out of Jakimbo.
Huge solo kill coming out there. I mean, we saw the Vi ganked, what's it called, while the bot lane 2v2 was going on. Jakimbo was able to get out of it, being able to turn that into a solo kill. Now it's looking really, really good for Valpo, as this early game that was supposed to be really hard for them is now starting to slowly
pick
ramp
up.
up. Hmm
And even looking at CS numbers, I mean, we have a lead top lane. We have a lead jungle. Nolan's got 2 camps on this Vi, now 3. And then Jakimbo doing what Jakimbo does. He has the CS lead and a solo kill.
Yep. No, we're seeing here, I mean, going even in that lane as well on top side. Valpo really performing right now in this early game.
For sure.
Just have to be able to scale
Keep
this
that
up and
momentum
rotate
going.
it. Yep. We
Keep
see
our
Vi
heads
here.
in the game.
You have to be careful. Valpo really just can't afford to get picked here with 40 seconds up on second drag, especially
Right.
on a mountain soul. Or not
So
mountain
nice
soul,
being
excuse
able
me.
to see when the drag is spawning.
Dude, I feel so informed. It's awesome.
Right.
You know, just looking for something here. Does get the root in the bush there, pulling back, getting a couple of passive stacks going on.
So it looks like Nolan did take that back. Same thing with Vi. But it looks like she's pathing topside as this dragon's coming up.
Yep. She might just be
There
walking.
she is
There
walking
it is.
back
Yep.
mid. Yep.
She's cutting it back around after a couple of pings there, but now
Anaya walking down
you have
too.
Anaya rotating. Gonna just try and secure this pressure.
She's
I mean,
looking for the bag.
Valpo now has a lead. Honestly, it's okay to give a little
It
bit
looks
top
like we're
here
going to
to
go for a
secure
Herald
this.
play.
Yep, gonna
into
drop this
Dragon.
Herald mid,
Beautiful.
close this off, and this is kind of what having that early pressure does.
Swain.
And there's a root
Oh,
here
and a
as well.
great dodge from Nolan.
Nolan holding back, trying not to knock him out, but here comes Jinx as well from the back.
Anaya.
The slow, there's the flash as
He
well.
gets the
Anaya
R.
holds the R,
And
gets
that's
it.
the passive
Dreadful
coming in
pops off
for
the
Jacob.
ult.
That's 2 kills. Should be a secure dragon.
He's going to walk around the side trying to look for something, but he's just going to use his passive to actually start up this drag. Here's a couple shots. I mean, great job on Anaya being able to hold that ult there, waiting for that Swain flash to bait out, getting
Oh, and
that
it
Swain
looks like
flash and then tossing. And
Justin's
here we go.
walling Vi off.
And almost gets the flick off, but Vi is
But
stunned over the
still
wall.
zones for the dragon. First dragon coming up to Valpo. 3 plates mid off that Herald play. Kennen does get 1 plate and Anaya misses a wave. But just the amount of value we got out of that roam from Anaya, absolutely huge. Get another kill on Jinx, get a dragon, get 3 plates. Valpo
Definitely.
jumping up to a 2.5k gold lead.
You do lose a lot top lane, but like we talked about, our win con is that Jinx. Knowing that you have a little bit of a lead, that you at least could contest that, bringing that 5th person down, being able to play that actually as a 5v4 is so huge for Valpo.
100%.
I mean, I love those plays. I love plays like that because that's the difference between like a solo queue game and a competitive game. In
Yes.
solo queue, you don't make calls like that,
Yes.
and in comp like this and esports leagues like this, where teams
Right.
are really trying to play their heart out here. You get calls where it's just that can decide games.
You don't have top laners moving down to dragon, but
I don't
I
think
could
top laners
dream.
move at all.
I could dream.
hmm No, trust me, we all could dream. Except for me. I'm a mid laner. I don't want anybody else in my lane.
I don't want anyone in my lane when I'm playing top, to be fair. And I don't want to be in anyone else's lane until like 20 minutes spot lane.
I feel you.
but it is what it is.
Definitely. No, and I mean, we're hitting that 15-minute mark now. Jinx is going on second item, trying to get a trade there. Gonna get stunned. Couple of shots out. Here's
Here
another
we see
flip
another
as
trade
well.
coming out of Jakimbo. Beautifully
Jakuma
done.
has to be
Talon
careful.
is
There's
just
the ult.
gonna
Trying to
try to all in,
disengage
but
it.
he cuts his losses.
Just trying to get out there. And here comes the
Yeah.
Ken and E as well, trying to get the stacks up. Gets that off.
Naya times the
Just
stun. Misses
Yep.
the E, but
knocks up. But
she's
here
gonna get
comes
hit
the
by
ult
that
from
slicing
Kennen.
maelstrom.
There's the
She
flash
flashes
as well.
away, saves her own life. Oh,
And there's the
never mind.
Kennen
Kennen
flashing
flashes
Q.
back in. He's able to pick up that kill using everything, and Nolan is here to catch the wave. So not too terrible. We do see them backing off, maybe not so far.
You have to be careful here.
Thresh and Talia are in the area.
Flash to stop the Q from Vi. Knocking up, and here comes
Honestly.
Talia and a
And
flip
the ult
as
is
well.
beautiful.
And then
Very
another
well
hook from
played.
Shadow as well. Gonna try and give that, but will take that kill. Still, huge trade in this top side. You saw the flash from Vector being able to jump in front, block that
And we
Vi
are
Q.
able to parlay this into a Baron play too. So
Yep.
very well executed. This is what we talked about, execution, because these teams, we are pretty evenly matched in terms of rank. I know team play, that kind of matters less, but still almost perfect execution here from Valpo so far.
Definitely. No, and I mean, we're seeing there, it's like, biggest thing I was worried about getting picked. And Talon is in jungle here, but here comes Talia as well, trying to get some shots off. Bone plating will proc, and Talon is jumping over wall here.
Yep.
Gonna get vision before trying to chase. And there's the Talon. Gets the E off, but not going to be enough to stun, as here comes Thresh walking down as well. Trying to walk to the safety of Swain. Jinx still cut off from the side there. Thresh going to look for something. There's the Swain W. Going to block him off. It looks like gonna dash through the
Bot
Jinx
lane.
W.
Vi's moving to cover on that dive.
You're seeing
So
here, I
looks like
mean,
we're just gonna shove the wave in.
top
at this
tower is
point.
gone. You drop. Top tower is gone. You're still holding on Rift Herald. Mid tower is really low. Talon has to be really careful here, though. Yep, and there's the dash over. There's the flip as well. Trying to walk back in. Here comes Talon.
He's ulting.
Yep, the Q, but the bone plating's gonna
Ooh,
proc.
Vi
It's not
jumping
gonna
over
do
the
much.
wall. Swain ulting. Herald coming down bot lane.
Here comes
This
the
is
Rift
gonna
bot
be
side.
Them trying to
turret-
hold down that turret. Now
Mid
that
turret
it's
goes
gone,
down.
we might see a
Bot
fight
tower
coming
goes
out.
down.
Ooh,
The flash as well, missing
Beautiful
that
play.
Q, but here
Ult
comes the
coming out of
Maokai
Nolan.
ult as well. The
Vi
ult
jumps
passing back
on
in.
Dreadful, but we just have so much peel at this point.
Dreadful's trying to Q back
Oh.
here. Here comes a huge flick
A
as well from
beautiful
Jakimbo.
hook from David.
There's a double kill. David pulling in, keeping this engaged together. Vi forcing the dash back here, and that's gonna be 3 tier 1s for Valpo.
We do have Kennen coming in behind.
Yep.
Gonna look for the ult. Ooh,
Nolan
with
has to be
Talon.
careful here. Talon and Kennen does jump on him in the jungle. Here comes the toss as well. The knockback. He W's back in though to re-engage. Dashes back in. Here comes Kennen ult, but it's not going to
But
be
the
enough.
ult's just not going to
The
be enough
flay-
to find anyone yet.
Here
Jacob
comes
has
the
that
dreadful
passive
reset.
going.
Hits the W as well. Gonna try and run Talon down. Talon still has a couple of walls to jump over. And that's just gonna be a quick back. He is on vision, but it's not gonna really matter much. And oh no, here's
Ooh.
another re-engage. Jeffro gets caught
Beautiful flash
trying to
from
bounce
Jacob.
over the wall. Swain W.
See
There's
if
the
Valpo can
Kaisa
get out
W
of
as well.
everything here.
And they're really low. We'll threat
Oh,
Thresh gets the
Jacob
back.
barely gets out. Oh, that's
Oh my
beautiful.
goodness. Shadow just barely getting out right in the face of Swain right there.
And this whole time, Anaya is taking top lane. You love to see it.
You are going to lose. You lost all tier 1s, and you're going to lose a tier 2 here. But it looks like they are just going to pry out Dragon here. Lambert trying to just go for the second drag. It is Chemtech Soul.
I mean, taking away that Chemtech Soul from Valpo is going to be huge. Maybe not so much a win con for this team comp that Lambton has, but still, Valpo has arguably 3 tanks, if you could call Thresh a tank.
Yep.
Taking away that, especially with the lack of damage you have late game, with that Vi and Talon, taking away Chemtech Soul.
Yep, and there's the hook.
Valpo.
Almost stealing that
Almost
blue
stole
buff.
the blue.
Not going to be able to get it, but yo, we can dream.
We can.
I know Valpo now looking for at least looking for probably a Baron setup here. Honestly, I mean, you have a ton of pressure topside. You have both tier 1, tier 2 down. You have tier 1 mid down. You have tier 1 bot down. You have so much work for your split pushers now that you have a ton of pressure for this for this Baron play.
Do have 3 bot lane.
You have to be careful. Talia kind of playing safe there. You have a huge shutdown, Talia and Jinx now. Here comes Kennen dashing out, trying to get the stun, trying to get
Vi
something
moving
here.
up to top lane.
Yep, couple of pings going out. Vi still on Krugs here.
Looks like, yeah, she's just gonna
Yep,
forget that
Maokai
play.
walking through as well to cover. Couple of shots just trying to get this tower. No, it looks like another flash
That was
through.
the might be
Gonna look for a
looking
flip here.
Ooh.
Not gonna be able to get it. Kaisa E dashing just out the way. Another dash in, couple of
A hook
shots.
coming
Here's
out
a hook
of
as well.
David.
Trying to get
Oh, and
the
he
engage.
flays the
Another
Vi.
flip. The unstoppable, but she just gets
Jacob,
melted
he
right
gets
through
stunned.
it. Another flick going out as well. Kaisa does kill the Jinx here. Trying to finish off that Kennen. Kaisa doing a ton of work on this backside. Gets off that kill. That's a double kill for Kaisa. Kaisa looking to get something here.
Anaya
Here comes
TP's
Talon
behind.
as
She's
well.
looking to clean up that Kaisa.
Yep. Anaya
With
looks
the
to
Berto
get
proc,
that.
he gets it.
Talon picks up one,
Gonna
but
have
here comes
ult for
the Anaya
Talon.
ult as well. Getting that shot off. Gonna miss the Talon here. Gets the W. It's not gonna hook over the wall though, as Talon will jump out and will be able to disengage. That is 3 for 2
3
on
for
Lambert's
2.
side.
And some shutdowns going over to Lambert.
That is huge. They picked up the shutdown on Talia and the shutdown on Jinx there. A little bit of a just scuffed entry. I think Jinx just stepped up a little bit too far there. Kaisa
Yeah.
came in, got the pick, Ard back to the back line as well, being able to pick up that Talia as well. And from there, Valpo just had to look to just pick up as many as they could.
For sure. I mean, at this point, Anaya, she's huge, right? She has 2 items. Her upgraded item from level 13, she's going to take no damage at all.
No, definitely. Now she's like the front line that Valpo needs, at least to keep this Jinx alive.
Right. And what's so good about having this kind of engage out of Ornn and Maokai and then disengage from Thresh is we have a lot of setup for Jinx to get her resets, but we also
there's
have
the
so much
flick.
peel to
The
keep
flick
her
will
safe.
a little bit of a miscalculation there on Jakimbo's side, trying to get that Q off, looking to just try and step away. Have to be careful. There's
Ooh,
the
a
flash in
close.
as well, and the flash
Ooh.
flick, but it's not going to be enough. It's
And the ignite
picks
plus
up the
bleed.
kill.
Yep.
And that will be Jakimbo going down as well. Talon going to be able to take this bot side.
Yeah.
Just not expecting the flash in and the ignite as well. Picking up that kill. There's the Jinx ult. Gonna
Close
fly
Jinx
through.
rocket.
Not going to be able to hit though.
Right. It looks like Talon does pick up that tower. He gets the objective bounty right before it falls off.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you have drag up in a minute, right? It is third dragon, so not the biggest deal, but Valpo has to be careful. They played the early game extremely well, but now they're starting to give a little bit too much here for my liking. You do have the upgrade though, the Jinx item. If you can just keep Jinx alive for this fight,
Jinx.
you have 2-item Jinx with Ornn upgrade.
Looks like Kennen's gonna pick up this top tower. Naya's
Yep.
not gonna make it in time to save,
Just
but
gonna
she
try
will
and
stop
clear
him
this
from
wave.
pushing. Yep. He does have TP. She doesn't. So if we are gonna look for this bot play like how we're setting up, I think she needs to move.
Yep.
But she might just look to keep Kennen top lane at this point.
And I mean, slicing Maelstrom from Kennen, especially off that TP, is just going to be insanely strong. You have to be careful here. A couple of pings going out bot side, as we do have 4 set up on both teams around this dragon here, coming up in 2 seconds. There's a flick almost going off. Vi getting half health there. Maokai now going to use that time to engage. The Swain ult coming out.
The flash
Swain
coming
has
off
to
of him.
flash it, and here comes Talon ult coming
That
out as
ult's
well.
gonna run out for Swain.
The
A
exhaust,
beautiful
the pull
hook
as
on
well.
Talon.
Gonna look
A
for
flick
something
back.
to flick, and there's the kill for Jakimbo.
Jacob's got that passive started. He's looking to parlay that
Here
into some
comes-
more kills. Here we
Yep,
go.
Vector picks up another.
Triple
There's a
root.
3-man
Oh, man.
root from Swain, but Shadow Spike's gonna pick up the auto
But
attack
3
over the
kills
wall.
picked up for Valpo. We're going to look to clean up this dragon. Anaya doing a good job keeping Kennen out of this fight.
And
if
that
I'm
is
not
3.
mistaken.
Gonna look for the solo ult here as well. Getting that off. Maybe
Right.
looking for one more W. Gonna be able to finish off that. Almost getting it, but here comes the stun. Wait a second.
There we
there's
go.
The dash through.
There it is.
And that's the solo kill with a little bit of help
Solo-ish.
from Thresh Lantern.
It was just a shield, so we're going to
Yep.
call it a solo kill.
And after that kill, they're gonna ping and try to just go start up Baron. Now you do have Vi looking for a steal, but I think with Jinx, how fast she's gonna melt this.
Oh, she melts this, and it looks like we're gonna have Anaya zoning on the other side.
Yep, makes sense. I mean, looking for any vision around this area. Gonna break that blast cone, make sure Vi has no way back out.
Swain's gonna spot him out on it, and it looks like Vi is moving over that wall.
Yep, Vi's gonna be looking for something here. Probably gonna. There's
Charging
the
up
dash.
Q,
Gets a couple
she
of
has the
pings
ward.
off as well. Looking to dash,
She's
and there's the
taking it in,
dash, but
but
not
Nolan
gonna be able to
secures it.
get it. Nolan picks off that stun, and there's like another kill.
Vi,
to
Vi,
Talia.
Vi.
And now Valpo is just gonna take this back with Baron, sitting on a 7K gold lead now. Just gonna have to get into it, get busy. So.
Yep.
Now, I mean, you have Baron buff. You have really, really strong lanes. You already have a couple tiers down, so Valpo's got to be able to at least 1-3-1 this or turn this into a couple of towers.
We need to get ourselves a graphic like they have at Worlds, the Red Bull Baron power play.
The Rig Gaming power play. Beautiful. Shout out to Rig Gaming. My voice cracked there. That's so sad. Rig, please don't fire me. No, I mean now you have Baron, you have Talia.
We have Baron,
bot
we
side
have
here.
2 on the side lanes. Our bot lane pushing top. Nolan cleaning up his jungle a little bit.
This is the fun part of Baron where we watch nothing happen.
Vi is on her bot side jungle. Swain's pathing down there. Kimbo's got to be a little careful here.
Yep, but I mean, you still do have shutdowns on all the top side of Valpo.
Oh, man.
So like you just said, playing safe is just kind of the key right here.
Yep.
You're going to have just a ton of farming. You see the Vi in this jungle here. Talia walking up, but just going to have to disengage there, walk away there. Alright. Vi is looking to this mid lane here.
It's like Talon's going to try to clear this wave, but
Here comes Kennen as well. Kennen is on ward though. And now you have a lot of pressure here. You have Shadow Spark walking around, just gonna be able to clear enough vision. Couple of shots. Trying to get something. There's
David
the
looking for something. He
1-3-1.
hits a hook.
That's a good hook, but it's not gonna
And
turn
we have
anything here. As
the
here's the
engage coming in
immediately
from the
jump in
side
and flash
onto
over.
Jacob.
be able to
Everybody
pick
just
Dreadful,
dives
yeah.
onto him.
That is so much
Justin's
blown on
coming
Jacob
in.
though. There's the flick. Gonna look for something here.
Oh,
Super
and he gets
fed.
the flick on
Huge
to
Anaya
Kaisa.
ult as well.
Huge.
Being able to get that slow. There's a double kill for Talia. Now they're going to try and walk down. Anaya dashing in. And although they traded a ton of ults to pick off Dreadful here, you have the rest of Valpo being able to pick up something. They're going to have to finish this dragon off or else Tower will kill Vector. There's the tower going down, and that's Kennen as well, looking for something just in
Valpo might be
desperation.
able to just end the game here.
Yep, it's just the Kaisa left. and you
Soonest
still
dead
have
timer is
Talia up.
15 seconds. Just Kaisa up.
Yep. You're going to have Swain and Vi up, at least right now, but you're going to have to see. Without Jinx, I don't think you have much tower pressure.
Baron
They
fell
will-
off, so at this point, they're just going to walk out.
Yep.
Smart move.
It's just not safe to give up this like far of a lead right now. I mean, you're sitting on around like 9k gold.
We do have Soul Point coming up in a minute. And then what's nice here is Baron and drag timers, they're staggered. You know, it's not like they're going to spawn at the same time.
Yep. So now, I mean, you have at least third dragon coming up for both teams here. 40 seconds. So you just got to be careful. I mean, if you're Valpo here, you're looking for at least any type of pick, or excuse me, if you're Lambton, you're looking for any type of pick. They spent so much on Jinx last fight, but Jinx didn't have a shutdown, and they weren't like grouped up together until later in that fight, so Jinx didn't really get a time to scale. So by that point, Valpo is strong enough to just sit on like the, sit on the hind legs of Talia and even Maokai at this point. Ornult being insanely helpful as well.
Right. So this looks like we got mid lane pushing hard. We're moving down towards that dragon. It just spawned.
Yep.
They're jumping on Anaya, but not doing much.
You're gonna have to be careful
Oh,
there. The
man.
bleed's gonna do a
She
lot of
gets
damage. Toss up
The
as well.
ult out of Talon.
Yep, and here
Gives a
comes the
little
ult
extra
from.
safety to
Oh,
Jacob
and
as he gets the
Jeffrey
passive,
picks
and
up the
he's going to be
passive.
looking to clean house.
Here he goes, Jakimbo and them. There's a huge slow going off, and they're just gonna use this passive to clear this wave and go. Looks like they're gonna back for
They're going to
Talia.
pick up the dragon.
Probably
And
sitting
Talia's,
on
she's going to
item.
back to respond to this top lane push coming out of the cannon. Talon moving up there to help.
Yep. And they're just trying to end this game, but I mean, you have Talia who's just gonna immediately,
Yeah.
farm that bot lane off, making this push just extremely hard. He's just have to prioritize that lane though. You have two like assassins right now, and there's the dash in as well. Gets it
Justin
off, but
is
the bleed might kill. No, the shield from Thresh will save him here, and that's just another solo kill for Talia, honestly.
Yep.
Um, Valpo looking insanely strong, and I think they can finish this game out when they want now. After picking up that dragon, Soul is optional.
Soul is optional. We do have Baron come out within 30. I think the move is just Nolan starts setting up the saplings, and then we just move up there. We can force a fight around Baron, and
Yep,
then end the game.
no, definitely.
Nice and clean.
I
Very well
think this
played
was
by Valpo.
this was an insanely clean game by Valpo. Um, just with like the early rotations, the double kill bot lane definitely was like the big key to this. Is that you had that, and then you had the call for Anaya to rotate down for that dragon, and that kind of just accelerated this Jinx,
Looks like
accelerated Talia as well.
Vi's doing her wolves. She's on the wrong side of the map.
Yep, there. I don't even think they're gonna try and
They
contest
pick up
this dragon,
Vision
this
on
Baron.
Baron. Looks like their whole team's moving at this point, but Baron is already
Yep,
gone.
and there's a solo kill as well for Talia after that hook from
She
Thresh.
gets the flick onto Swain after the hook.
Yep,
And
and here
Lambton,
comes
they're just
now.
going to be
Oh, there's the jump over
grasping
the
at
wall,
straws to
but
try and defend
the
as
E from
Valpo
Talia gets the stun,
starts the final push.
and here comes the Jinx as well. Walking out. There's
Anaya
the TP as well
TPing in.
from Anaya after getting that item, having the Abyssal Mass picked up now, getting that Thorn Mail going. There's the flick as well
Ooh,
from
the
Vi.
flick coming out.
And that's just gonna be a
Just
kill there as well.
demolishing her.
Combined with the Jinx. Jinx now has passive. Gonna
She
look
now
to
has
try and take
passive.
this tower.
Oh, I want to see her machine gun these.
Yeah, I want to see how fast she can get it going. But there's a flick as well on the
Ooh.
Kennen. Kennen's just desperation trying anything, but not going to be able to pick it up.
It
Jakimbo
even
gets
looks
that
like
kill again.
Kaisa
Another hook as well on Kaisa. Kaisa
gonna
ult's
go
trying to get
down.
out, but the ult from Anaya is going to finish it off. Another flick from Jakimbo, and that's going to be a great game one for
GG
Valpo.
Valpo.
Finishing it off there. I mean, huge game from Talia. Huge game. Jakimbo played it. Valpo playing really well around their win cons. He had some great
For sure.
engages from Vector. Had some amazing ults from Anaya as well. And then
Mhm.
Shadow Spark just playing crazy, being able to hit
Oh
those
yeah.
hooks, get those flays for the
Classic
team.
Shadow Spark Thresh.
Yeah,
It's a
I
very
mean,
clean game overall. We talked about that execution. Honestly, I'm surprised at how smooth and how well this early game went.
yep, definitely. I think that was as unfun sometimes as it is watching it, that is definitely what we're looking for, and it makes me happy to see that you pick a scaling comp, you give time to scale, and you saw there Talia just took over the game.
Hmm.
Jinx was just such an issue that they had to blow so many ults on her that
Right.
Talia had equally scaled. You have Justin just take over the game.
Yep.
But we are going to take a slight break here, and we will catch you guys in the booth at the start of game 2. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for game two of Valpo versus Lambton. I am solo in the booth for now, so just gonna be hearing this beautiful voice for a little bit as we do hop into the game two draft. Valpo probably gonna keep these bands pretty simple, keeping it with the Lilia Aatrox, we saw that last game. And then you have the Lambton Lions as well, hopping with the Jarvan and the Jinx. Banning out that Jinx as well. Valpo's still having blue side, so obviously don't want to first pick it. But I mean, now Valpo finishing off that ban with Poppy. Uh, just don't want the flex, I guess. And now I am not solo in the booth as I am joined by another co-host here. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Henry, Speedy Kill Ninja. So, former jungler. I've actually played against this team when I played in college. They've been around for a while and are a pretty solid team. Game one, I thought went really well. Play lame, win the game. Would like to see some more exciting picks.
Yeah,
But you know,
and I mean, I think we'll get that because they do have the Jinx banned. I
yeah,
think that's definitely the biggest thing is that you don't have that permascaler anymore that Valpo can kind of draft around, and they're probably going to try and ban out that Talia R4, R5.
yeah. I thought game one was really clean though. Only a few like mishaps, but other than that, would have liked to see them close the game maybe a little bit sooner. But played it safe and played well and ended up winning game one.
Definitely. I mean, now Valpo going with the B-side Maokai first pick. I mean, pretty solid, honestly. I think we saw that.
But we see that Maokai, which was a key pick in game one, but going to be piloted by Snacky Vengeance, who was on the broadcast game one.
Yep.
So same champion, different player. I'm excited to see if he can do as well as Nolan did in game one, and getting to Ash to start at the bot lane for Lambden.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have the Maokai first pick now on the Snacky, so got to be a little bit proactive. But Lambton going with the Ash first pick, Cassante second pick. Okay, hey, throw it out there right now. Cassante insanely hard for Valpo to play against. We've seen Cassante kind of take over games here recently, and I think that it's going to be a little bit tough for Valpo to try and match this, but now you know what you're picking topside. So Valpo is kind of a little bit more freed up in this draft. Lambton obviously trying to force that top pick early so they can throw a couple more bans Jakimbo's way on that R4 R5.
Yeah, Cassante, I know we've the times I've seen it, I think we've struggled against it in lane and in like macro late game stuff. Um, as far as Jakimba's champ pool though, it's so deep that like I wouldn't even be worried if they ban Talia or something like that. Like
Yep.
I feel like we have so many options. And a very comfort pick from Anaya coming out here, the Malphite. So looking to kind of just play something she's familiar with, comfortable with into this Cassante, which is definitely going to be a lane we're looking at for sure.
And I think that's a very solid pick as well into Cassante. Not only do you have a ton of disengage, but you have kind of that lane prowess and that armor stacking that can be nice into him until, of course, he goes all out and does true damage. But Lambton picking up their third draft as Silas as well. Probably going to flex this. Um, I mean, you're looking at Silas jungle, Silas mid, and to an extent Silas support, but gonna force Talia at least. Excuse me, not gonna force Talia, but gonna force Jakimbo into. All right, here's what you're playing against. We're gonna ban probably your biggest two counters to it, right? So banning off the Syndra, and then they should ban the Talia. If you pick Silas, and you're gonna wait on the mid pick, you gotta ban Talia here.
Yeah, definitely not a great matchup. I really like the Salas pick though. One because it's just an exciting player, like character to watch,
Hmm.
but also into the Maokai and Malphite, two of like probably like some of the best ultimates in the entire game.
Yep.
And really good on Silas with like all that AP build he has going on in that Malphite ult.
Know what I
Um,
mean? And we're talking about as well. It's like if you have a frontline like Cassant, they don't ban Talia. They leave the Talia open. They're gonna ban Rakan. Um, but no, I mean speaking about the Silas ult, right? Especially when you're stealing Malphite, you have a little bit of a frontline Cassante, but Cassante is looking to ult somebody, right? Cassante is looking to pull somebody from that fight. You still need a lot of frontline engage, and Silas now offers that for their team. So I think Lambton picked up a really good pick here.
We have two jungle bans coming out for Valpo, so kind of assuming that Silas is going mid lane, which is probably the most likely. But I know Silas can jungle, and I don't think he can support in this patch, but I've seen
Yeah,
Silas do some things before. So curious to see as Lambton continues to pick, get some more like solidified where that Silas is going to be going. Um,
I mean, it makes sense, right? You want to throw a mid. You do have Senna. Okay, going Ash Senna. Extreme poke. Just gonna be an unfun lane for Valpo Esports here in the spot side, but you are playing Ezreal, so while you won't be able to get that kind of like Q range off, as you will get outpoked at least, you are playing extremely safe. That is the nice thing, is that you can solo lane here, and Valpo Esports going to pick up the blue side Talia. I mean, Lambton left it open, and it's pretty good into Silas, I'd say. Just from not only just like personal experience, but just like kit wise, I think Talia's a little bit favored here. Um, but I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see.
Maybe they're also thinking it's another really good ultimate for Silas to have. But
Hmm.
Silas, being a melee range champion and taking some time to like scale up a little bit, has a tough time laning pre six. Um, I guess both teams kind of handshaking and feeling comfortable and confident with their game plan.
Yep.
So Talia's or Valpo's happy to take the Talia, and it looks like Lambton is happy for them to play it, which is pretty surprising after watching game one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the way that just Jakimbo took over that game. I mean, I hope he's looking to run it back here because he will get this Talia pick again. Uh, Lambton leaving their jungle as their final pick.
Maybe
Not
the
doing.
rationale is too that they're like, okay, Jakimbo's probably going to be good on no matter what champion he plays, so we'd rather see him on Talia maybe than like an Asol or something like that. I don't know.
Hmm. I guess, yeah, but even then, I mean, Asol is just insanely tough trying to play into Silas. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
I mean, they only banned Syndra
yep, and the Rakan ban stayed, which was interesting. Um, has
because the Thresh went extremely well too.
yeah, the Thrush was insanely good last game too. Uh, Lambton, hey, those are your drafts, man. It's your ban, it's not mine. And we'll see how it like plays out this game. They obviously have cooked a ton with this like lineup, right? So they obviously have something up their sleeve. I'm excited to see how this game pans out.
Yeah, so a little bit of similarity coming out from like, it's a different ADC, but it's kind of a playback scale up for late game and a different top laner. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty same across the board. While Lambton is kind of trying some different picks that are a little more like unique and risky. But I mean, now's the time in a best of three series. Now's the time to pull it out. So and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you're down one game, you got to get funky a little bit somewhere. So we will take a break here in the booth until we hop into our or at the end of spectators delay, and we'll catch you guys at the start of game two.
All right, and we are back.
Yep, and we are hopping into this game now. We're going to take a look at runes. We're going to take a look at summoners. Everything seems pretty normal, honestly. You have pretty good summoner setup on both sides here. Looking for the cleanse. I mean, obviously, you have to take cleanse in the Ash. Cleansing Ashar is just way too important, especially in that late game, like, pick stage.
Yeah.
And then you have cleanse on the side of, or on Ash as well, which makes sense. I mean, you're looking at Maokai, you're looking at Thresh Stun, you're looking at least a cleanse from Talia Flip, or at least the stun after Talia Flip.
Maokai Q.
Yeah, Maokai Q as well. There's a lot on their side that they can actually be, just worked out here.
Red buff slow. A lot of options.
Oh yeah, definitely. I forgot. What are we thinking? Like Mountain Dragon auto attack? Got a couple of slows going on.
Got standard runes, standard builds so far. Nothing too exciting. Would have liked to see the caller tier from Jacob, as I personally said last time. But he has told me that he likes the Dorn's Blade with Ezreal just so he can have like some pressure early game with Ezreal. So we see Talia dropping a couple CS there.
It's a little unlucky. It happens. Trust me, as this goes on, it's going to be a lot harder for Silas to get any work in. We're seeing a couple of trades here up top, and we're seeing kind of why taking that grasp instead of the usual Arcane Comet is so strong into the lane like Cassante.
Yeah, I'm personally a grasp believer with Malphite. I'd rather have that tank over the early poke, especially in a matchup you might not feel like super comfortable in. I feel like if we go even in this, it's pretty good for us as we'll have that Malphite ultimate and be able to do well in team fights. As we see the proc go off there to trade pretty evenly.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like that proc right there, plus like that potion, it's just gonna even out that trade for Anaya. We're seeing kind of just the strength of this matchup here.
Both junglers opting for a full clear. Maokai pathing bot lane, Nocturne pathing top lane. Probably won't bounce into each other as Scuttle. Do you see a big trade coming out mid lane?
Yep,
So you see Maokai coming in here.
And here comes the Maokai as well, tossing that E, trying to get something. There's the flash.
Ooh, and the minions will get.
Ooh.
Oh, and okay. Just the extra insurance to make sure we get that kill.
Yeah, just had to secure it out a little bit, I guess.
Great job by Snacky peeling off those Raptors right away. Right when Jakimbo probably calls for him. Just stopping that camp and getting to mid as fast as you can, as he really needed them there to help.
We're seeing right there. I mean, Jakimbo danced around the Silas E a little bit, got the flip off as well. You're thinking, if you're not looking at the map there, you're thinking, why is he still there? Right? Why is he still dancing around there? And then the quick call for Nolan to be able to hop in on that end gives a huge lead to Talia, especially early when Silas definitely has the edge with his abilities.
Yeah, Nocturne, a little bit of a quicker clear, was already on the red buff with Maokai still on the Raptors. As we'll see Nocturne pick up that top scuttle. Maokai a little low here, going to head to the bot scuttle, but we do see Silas maybe running into him, but does get the little vision pop.
Plant. Yep. That vision plant is huge. I think he face checked Silas right there, honestly.
Yeah, he would have died.
Which makes sense. I mean, Silas with the smart idea of being able to try and catch jungle, knowing that he's slower on it. There's another trade mid lane as well.
Nocturne posturing mid lane.
Oh,
gonna pop
there's
a
the
reset.
dash in as well. Gets the E off. And Nocturne's just gonna show mid, and that will be an early kill as well. Snacky being able to pick it up.
Great lantern in there, able to get the flay, CC. Tons of gank set up. Maokai really good job getting those ganks in early, having early game impact, helping out mid lane and bot lane. Being rewarded
There's
with that
the dash in as well.
150 gold
He
shutdown.
gets the ignite off, gets the flash. Not gonna be enough to kill though.
Both top laners running out of mana here.
Yep, I mean, now we're posturing around this dragon here. Got the ocean, got a huge hook as well. Dashing over the wall, tossing over Maokai as well. Maokai jumping in, getting the shot, trying to pull off, but now it's 3 versus 2 here. As you see Ezreal just trying to clear off that wave, getting a lot of pressure there. They're going to shove this in. A couple of pings going out. Silas is still looking. He do have the back from Jakimbo. He doesn't have TP here, so not having Jakimbo is going to force them to just give up this drag. Or give up this opportunity for drag, excuse me.
Yeah, I was gonna say going into that fight, Maokai hadn't backed yet, or bought any items. Well, Nocturne had backed, but not. Did he ever? Okay, he just bought items. He did back. I don't know if he picked up any items the first time around. He must have not backed. We saw him channel a back mid lane. Picks up his Iron Spike whip. But really important for Maokai to cash in on both of those kills before we look at any like big objective fights or stuff like that.
And Naya has to be careful here now. You see Casante's posturing around this wall, trying to get maybe an ult over it. Still having flash as well could be huge. But then again, you are sitting on Malphite ult, which is the best engage and disengage. So you can't just, you get ulted over the wall, just ult it right back. There's no way Casante can follow.
Nocturne in the next 30 seconds to a minute here will be hitting level 6 as well, so something to watch out for as those ganks can be very potent. But looks like he'll be ganking top while he's still level 5. And Naya still has the ultimate and the flash, so probably going to have to burn one of them here.
Yep,
And just a good ultimate.
That is a flash, though, from Casante, trying to just at least secure that, but being able to time that ult, get out, let this wave shove back into her. Forcing the E out of Silas there, trying to just dash back. Silas looking for something, probably going to try and W2 Talia, but not going to be able to hit that. And now we're seeing as Talia starts to get up with these cooldowns, it's going to be a lot easier.
And we see Valpo on the dragon here, Maokai and Thresh on the mini-map as they're just closing it out here.
Yep, I mean, that's just going to be first drag. Senna is there, gets the ward off, but not going to be able to hit. So here comes Silas dashing back in. Gonna get the Q2 proc off. Yeah, but now after that gank, this lane is looking a little bit more volatile topside. There's the dash in as well, and the flip, getting a quick trade off, and that's the interaction you're looking for playing Talia. There's a shot. You still have to be careful. Casante can hit ult here. Get back a lot of just healing, especially in just like a last ditch effort. There's a shot. Snacky looking for an invade, but not going to be able to hit it. Here comes Silas. Silas steals the Maokai ult, trying to look to disengage. I think he will just go down here. The flip, getting knocked out of the flip. Ash flashes over the wall. Going to pick that up, but we did have a solo kill topside from Anaya, as here comes another kill. Jakimbo picks up a third. Really low here. Silas going to use the dash over the wall. E into minions here, trying to just disengage. Gets the flip, not going to be able to hit it. And Silas will get out here. Ash is still in jungle here. Nocturne does not care about this Ash. Just gonna try and take this objective here. And here he comes finally, after picking up that objective. And I mean, pretty scrappy fight overall. Going a little bit in favor of Valpo, but that first objective being huge.
Oh.
Quickly gets the spell shield off on the E. Not enough mana to finish it off, but Anaya picks up that kill finally. Spell shielding the Malphite ult, and here it is, Senna walking in, and Thresh just making a ton of plays, looking for maybe a hook here off the edge. Gets it finally.
Gotta watch out for the Casante coming back though.
Yep. Ash is looking for something here. Here comes Casante as well, getting the root off, hitting off, and then gonna take the lantern out. Casante might look to just.
Now we see Silas coming over.
Yep. What is
but we
happening?
do have the Talia also, so might actually be able to get out of here.
Might have to just knock it off. There's the flip as well, and a huge turn. Might look for a W. There's the W for the healing, but the Kimbo's Q2 is going to finish it. Ash picking up the kill on Maokai, though, as here they come trying to turn this. The Lantern getting them out. Senna walking back, trying to get the speed. Watch out. Casante still does have ult here. Tries to dash through, gets stunned. But here comes Malphite walking down the side. Gonna run down that Senna on the back. Here comes Nocturne as well. What is going on? Anaya picks up Senna, but Casante picks up the kill on Talia. And now Casante and Nocturne are trading, following Malphite into mid lane. Now Malphite's taking a trade mid lane. Looks like Malphite's the mid laner now. As Silas does return, Nocturne's going to go back to jungle, Casante is going to go back to top, and Thresh is going to go back to bot lane. All this time, mind you, Ash was not farming. Ezreal was farming, and now there's a 50 CS lead in the bot lane with two turret platings and 2 levels.
So over the past 3 minutes to recap, I think Valpo overall wins that massive trade. You know, this events rolling into other events. Valpo chasing a little far in the top lane, able to come back and, you know, like you talked about, Ezreal was farming this entire time, stacking up that tier, up 50 CS. That's so much gold. That's going to be so valuable for him mid to late game. And you see Malphite at 3-0, going to have plenty of armor to deal with this Cassante for the rest of the laning phase. And Talia also has a lot of gold income, getting her through the laning phase as well. So Valpo ended up with a 2k gold lead at the end of all that shenanigans. And yeah,
I mean,
that was a lot.
yeah, I just felt like it was a constant stream of talking, honestly. And there's the ult as well coming mid lane, trying to pick off this Talia. Talia already used E, not going to be able to stop anything. And that's a shutdown for Nocturne. Nocturne ult just jumping her immediately. Silas, especially being low under tower, pretty easy bait for Jakimbo to bite on, having Nocturne take that, and that will be a solo kill.
No, I complain a little bit about having kind of a slow game one, but this game is definitely delivering.
Yep. No, my prayers have been answered, honestly. We are in the thick of it now. That is Rift Herald mid as well, taking up a couple of plates.
Definitely got to keep track of this Nocturne ult timer.
Yep.
Jakimbo pushing up mid with Nocturne ult just coming up and not having flash. I mean, it's a pretty free kill, and unfortunately.
And Naya is now running down this Cassante in top. Cassante just stayed a little bit too long. And there's the solo kill as well. I mean, Anaya, we talked about having a hard time against Cassante early. Anaya is 4-0 now in this matchup, with 2 kills being on the Cassante. So we're seeing here.
I don't know where she got that 3-0 lead from. It just sneakily happened over the course of multiple skirmishes. And
That's
now
what,
just
same thing for
dominating in
Ashe.
top lane.
I don't even remember Ashe killing anyone, but she does have 2 kills. I mean, we're sitting here now, second drag. Valpo taking priority over it. Going to be able to take it. I don't think Lambton is going to even contest this.
And we're getting the Chemtech Dragon soul again.
There's the dash up, the Everfrost as well. The flip going to be stuck in the minion wave here, taking half health here. And Silas is going to have to be really careful.
Silas opting for the snow cone build. I forgot, what is that item called? The
Everfrost.
Everfrost, yeah. You can see a lot of times you can see Roa, you can see Night Harvester.
Yep.
But opting for the extra CC and some solid stats. So
yep.
Other than that, pretty standard items across the board. Malphite going to Iceborne Gauntlet with just this insane amount of armor. Just Cassante is not able to like win any trade.
But you have to be careful. Yeah, there's the final.
I was like, he's got him, right?
That's what's so rough about this matchup for Cassante. If Cassante ults, Anaya at least has enough burst to just one-shot him right after that ult. So no, I mean, now you went with the Frozen Heart first. You'll be sitting, you got the steel caps as well. It's going to be really tough for Cassante to be able to at least get back into this lane. So he's going to have to look for some impact around the map.
Yeah, Thresh maybe coming in for a little flank here.
They are playing super up right now. And here comes the engage as well. Thresh walking down. Probably looking for a pick on the Senna. Senna W does hit and root Ezreal here. Maybe looking for a Lantern. There's the ult, but Shadow Spark's box is going to finish off the Senna before that Ezreal ult can hit.
Shadow Spark on this Thresh has just been doing a phenomenal job around the map.
He's putting on a clinic.
Yeah. Just letting Ezreal kind of do his thing, farm up, play safe, play back, up 60 CS, kind of just laning 2v1. And Thresh has just had so much impact
the
on this
engage
lane.
as well. And there's the ult mid lane again. Senna ult as well going off. Trying to just finish it, and that tower shot will kill Nocturne. That is going to be a 1-for-1 with the shutdown going to mid lane. But
Maokai with ultimate here.
Yep. Here comes the Maokai ult as well. And Thresh just going to flash out of it and then dash as well. Try to steal the Maokai ult, trying to root under tower. There's the root, but not going to be able to hit. Only hitting the Thresh. The flash as well. Playing around this wave. Almost going to be able to outplay this here. Getting the E
Ashe
back,
ult
but the
coming in.
W changes it. The W from Maokai dodging that Silas E and Everfrost. Silas almost able to turn that plane around that wave there, but just going to be dodged under.
Yeah, he played that extremely well, especially considering like he had that item advantage, or especially considering he doesn't really have an item advantage, even though he's a mid laner.
Yep.
Hasn't had too much gold income from CSing or kills.
Fighting that 2v1 was rough there, but I mean, being able to pick that off. Valpo, at least, big thing about that engage was that you saved mid turret.
Yeah.
You don't get that objective bounty yet. You have a lot of pressure mid. You're probably going to be able to pick this up as you pick up second rift as well. And now Valpo's in a really good spot here, sitting on like 5k. Grant, a lot of it is on Anaya right now.
Yeah.
A lot of this lead.
And we see Dreadful.
There's
with
a
the
huge hook
200
mid
gold
lane as
shutdown
well.
Too.
Mid tower going down, and then just setting up Jakimbo. Shadow Spark picking up the final shot there, but hey, sometimes you just want the kill more. And that's a
Dreadful.
huge E, a ton of
2v1 in the
combo.
lane.
Throwing that Q,
Oh,
the
that
W hitting the
yeah.
tower. Yeah, if W hits Ash there with that Q combo, that is going to be a 2v1.
Ult is on cooldown for Ezreal too, so won't see that kill come through. But just absolutely dominating 2v1 in lane. We have that Triforce online. Ash just now picking up the Kraken Slayer, but Dreadful doing a phenomenal job, allowing the opportunity for Shadow Spark to kind of get around this map.
And we're seeing Nocturne now as well, trying to just run him down. Gets the Q. Gonna miss that though, so now it's on the back foot as Talia does rotate down as well. You have another engaged topside here. There's the Ashe ult going down. Ashe ult does hit the Talia. Talia forced to be stunned. Nocturne trying to get something. The fleet going out, but the final Q from Jakimbo and Dreadful gonna finish that off. Senna coming in, but not gonna be too late. As Anaya as well on the top side takes tier 1 tower and is going to push this Cassante. Cassante ulting as well, trying to walk him down. And this bot side, another fight going on. Shadow Spark getting the kill on Ashe. And then Silas trying to finish off one. The Lantern being enough. The Q and W throwing out. Gonna hit that. But here comes the Ezreal ult as well. Being able to E away from the Silas stolen ult. Dashing in as well. Throwing another Q. Gonna try and just extend this fight. Silas looking for as many fight extenders as he can. But here comes the rest of Valpo. The hook hitting that Scuttle. Screw you, Scuttle. Walking by. Silas not going to be able to get hit by that flip there. Still walking around. Has vision over the wall, though.
Yeah, this Silas is shifty.
No, he's schmoving. He's schmoving. Listen, the scoreboard might not show it, but he has been definitely schmoving this game.
Yeah, that kind of just speaks to how great of a player Jakimbo is. This Silas has been playing really well, just 0-4, unfortunately, even after all the resources being used. Mid lane, we've seen Senna ult mid, Ashe ult mid,
There's a TP
lot
as
of
well from
Nocturne ults.
Cassante. We do have Dragon fight up, but it looks like they're going to try and contest this as they will push Valpo off. Valpo only having 3 people. Going to force the Maokai ult as well. They're trying to toss in. Talia getting a ton of damage out. Another knockback. That is going to be Dragon by... that is going to be Dragon stolen by Nocturne. But you see Ezreal just walk on the right side. Clean up with the triple kill. And you have Anaya as well on that top. There's the flash as well. Huge hook. Another kill. That's a quadra for Ezreal.
Anaya unfortunately doesn't have TP for that fight, but in the meantime, able to pick up the secondary turret and start working on this inhibitor turret. So Valpo able to do it 3v5, 4v5, I don't know. But
Yep.
Dreadful able to kind of take his space and slowly, chip away at this damage, and now he's 5-on-5 with double the Ashe's CS at 20 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yep, but now you have to be careful. Comes the team. There's Nocturne ult as well, jumping on Jakimbo in the backline. Thresh trying to just tank a lot of this. Huge 700 gold shutdown going to Silas. Here's the ult as well from Anaya, though. Dreadful throwing the combo and getting the one shot on Ashe. Getting a double kill on Nocturne as well. The Q from Anaya being able to finish off Silas. There's the all out from Cassante, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Snacky picking up that 4th kill. And they're looking for a back. Ezreal ult coming through.
They have the Rift Herald here, too.
Yeah,
It might be too early in the game.
I think you try and at least get to inhibitor here.
Yeah.
Get that push to inner turret. You have a couple of pings going out top side as well. There's the Talia teleport top as well. They're going to just try and shove this wave. Wait, yeah, they're just shoving it. They're trying to get as many charges as they can after getting that charge. Sorry about that. We have a little bit of a client bug going on. And we are back to it. But yeah, getting that first charge on Rift Herald. I mean, Valpo now sitting at around a 12k gold lead, right? Going to just start up this Baron. So insane. I mean, we see Anaya was dominant this game. Snacky, great early plays. You gave Jakimbo Talia again. And this is what happens. You give
Yeah.
Talia Jakimbo. Ezreal, given the time to solo farm, and then you see Dreadful just swag out with the combos here, playing insanely well to that mid game, being able to scale up, and then you gave Shadow Spark Thresh again.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. We said this all pre-game, but I'm glad and I'm
Someone's
happy
got
to
to take
see.
him on off this Thresh.
Yes, somebody needs to figure out to ban this.
Someone's gonna figure it out one day.
Hopefully, but no.
Hopefully
Now,
it's not our next team we're playing watching our bot right now.
Mhm. Yeah, sorry. If you are scouting this game, no, you're not. I'm hypnotizing you through the screen right now. You're not watching this game.
But Valpo picking up the Baron here, spending all the gold that they've accumulated over the past couple minutes here, and gonna see probably a push to an end here. But yeah, like you said, flashes from every player today. Really excited to see Anaya just absolutely dominate this Cassante.
Yep.
Kind of get over the Cassante hump we've had as a team. Great plays by Snacky early game. I mean, you've
Mhm.
kind of hit it all. Like every player has played so well in this
Yep.
game too.
This has been such a cohesive game from Valpo.
Yeah.
It's really great to see as they are going to take this Baron and push this bot side turret here. And I really don't think there's much they can do to stop this. 5 manning this bot. They're going to push this up. You have Anaya the tank, almost level 16 as well. A 3-level lead on this Cassante here. Taking a couple of shots, walking in. You get this shot. Going to take this inhibitor as well. That will be 3rd inhibitor.
It's really refreshing to see Valpo win in like so many different ways now. You know, we know that we can win if we pick these late game champs and scale, but winning with these like early game skirmishes and like
And there's
building
the
on this
flash
early
out.
game lead.
Trying to walk it out. Silas dashing back in, using the ult as well on this backline, trying to pick off Ezreal. Ezreal gets the E off. Nocturne trying to ult in, but not going to be able to get anything. That's 3 down. Valpo just trying to finish off Cassante. Not going to be able to. Cassante runs away, but they're just going to ignore him. Walk back into this turret. Senna just gets one shot by Jakimbo. Ezreal, this is the dreadful 1v1 versus Cassante. This is for all the times Cassante ulted, but now Talia will pick up that double kill. That is going to be game. Quick game for Valpo, finishing off extremely clean. We talked about, I mean, how strong our fights were, how strong we kind of played together there, and quite frankly, I think the numbers speak for itself. But that was an amazing 2-set game by Valpo, very clean. It was very fun to watch in the booth. I'm happy to see us succeeding, like you said, in ways that we haven't really seen before. But definitely something that we need to add to our arsenal now, and I'm happy to see us succeeding on it.
Yeah. So I mean, 2-0 GG's. We improved to 1-1 on our NECC season. If you want to catch some more League of Legends, we have Ohio Northern Saturday at 2 p.m. But yeah, I think that does it for us today. And this is us signing off.
Yep. I mean, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for tuning in, listening to us ramble for a little bit here. But and we hope to see you guys next time.